you're in the market for a cheap or affordable 7-seat SUV, you're in luck. There's quite a few options on sale right now. Recently, Isuzu expanded its MU-X lineup, introducing a new 1.9 turbo diesel 4-cylinder to bring down the entry price. So you can get this in the entry-level LS-M, which is what I'm in right now. Prices start from $47,400, excluding on-road costs, for the two-wheel drive model, or $53,400 for this 4x4 version. So you are paying quite a bit more for four-wheel drive. I guess you're getting a lot more capability. There's a lot more moving parts as well. You've got a transfer case, dual range four-wheel drive. The good thing is Isuzu offers a wide range of configurations. You can actually get the LS-M with two-wheel drive as well, or four-wheel drive. The 1.9 looks identical on the outside. This LS-M variant, the base model, it's got, you know, sort of basic trimmings and stuff. It doesn't have any sort of chrome flashy highlights or anything like that, but it looks quite neat and proportional in my opinion. At the front, you've got the latest grille and headlight theme, nicely bolstered wheel arches which are formed into the bodywork. They're not like stuck on, added on bits, and a tidy rear end with kind of tinted tail lights. Of course, this does feature a heavy-duty live axle rear suspension setup, but it does feature coil springs, unlike the D-Max, which shares its platform with. That features leaf springs, so the MU-X is more comfortable, especially for rear passengers. Inside, it's a pretty basic trim. I actually don't mind it though, the cloth trim. You get a bit sick of leather sometimes. It's always very hot in the summer, but then it's kind of cold and not as comforting in the winter. Most of the trim and fit and finish is quite good. There's no squeaks or rattles in here. You've got this kind of leatherette trim across the dash, but then plastic all along the door trims. A bit of a sort of carpeted material section down there as well, including the armrest on the door. Excellent practicality though. You've got a little storage tub at the front there, dual cup holders, a nice big center console box, bottle holders in the doors, and a bit of extra space behind the bottle holder. And in the front, it feels like you've got enough room to kind of move about a bit. The MU-X LS-M is yet to receive the updated touchscreen with the volume and tuning knobs as seen in the updated D-Max. So it continues with this old style screen, unfortunately. It's a pretty basic screen. The graphics and even the menu flow, and there is a bit of a delay when you're pushing each selection. There's a bit of a load time delay. Rear passenger space is excellent for this class, although it doesn't have a sliding middle row, but it does have a flip down armrest, bottle holders in the doors, and yeah, plenty of headroom and legroom. In the third row, you've actually got a usable couple of seats. Adults can actually sit in these. Well, I can. I suppose, I don't know if you want to class me as an adult. I'm 170 centimeters, but I can actually fit in this in these seats with reasonable comfort, which is not something that could be said for some of the rivals. And then up at the back, you've got a spacious boot for this class. I mean, the MU-X is not the largest in terms of just external dimensions compared with some rivals, but it is classified as a large SUV in Australia. So what about this engine? 1.9 litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder, 110 kilowatts and 350 Newton meters, making it kind of one of the weakest in terms of power output in this class, even against some of the newcomers from China. But on the road, it sounds pretty much identical to the 3 litre, really. You'd have to jump in and out of both to really pick up the difference. I guess the 1.9 doesn't have so much bass to it because it doesn't have such a, you know, the extra litre of capacity firing away, but really it sounds pretty much the same. Going up hills is where you'll notice the difference in power and torque. 350 Newton meters, there's 100 Newton meters less than the 3 litre. And then the power as well, you're 40 kilowatts down. Considering you can get the 3 litre in the same body, so it's basically the same vehicle with the LS-M, the power to weight ratio is 67 kilowatts per tonne with the 3 litre, and then 55 kilowatts per tonne with this 1.9. I mean, the 1.9 might be slightly lighter, but it's still 4 pistons firing away. It's still basically the same makeup, just the pistons are obviously sized differently and the stroke is obviously different as well. Driving along, say you wanted to overtake from about 80 kilometers an hour. Yeah, it doesn't offer the best pickup and performance. To be honest, I would go with the 3 litre, especially considering it is priced just $2,000 more than this. Going for the 1.9, you know, it does bring down the entry price to $47,400 roughly for the 2-wheel drive, which is very attractive. But if you want 4-wheel drive, which I think you kind of would if you're going for a heavy duty SUV like this, you don't really want to be driving around with 2-wheel drive, otherwise you might as well get a crossover that's a bit more comfortable, or even a wagon that's certainly going to handle a bit better. But the 4x4, yeah, $2,000 price difference, I would be stretching and just saving up that little bit more to get the 3 litre, because not only performance but economy, surprisingly. So we're averaging 8.5 litres per 100 in this. I've achieved around 8.5 or 8.4 even in the 3 litre, and I think the reason for that is because you don't need to push the 3 litre as much, whereas this, you find, or I find, I'm pushing the accelerator more. Like right now I've got it about half throttle and it just won't kick down. Now it finally has, but it doesn't have all that much torque to continue driving along. So this road is 100 km/h speed limit. I'm actually falling below the speed limit. I've got to keep pushing it a bit. I think it is great that Isuzu has been able to bring in this option, so it just expands the market reach. And if you're just trundling about town or suburbs and so on, you're probably not going to miss the extra power and torque in the 3 litre. But if you're doing towing or any sort of, you know, pretty serious off-roading and stuff like that, I would go with the 3 litre, just because it's got more torque, more usable torque. You don't need to push it so much. Other than that, it handles the same as the 3 litre. I think the MU-X is a very nice driver's sort of SUV, particularly the heavy duty side anyway. There are crossovers that will handle a lot better than this, but in terms of a heavy duty underpinning, ladder frame, chassis, yeah, this handles quite nicely. It's easy to drive, great visibility all out the front and out the back. You've got that perched up driving position as well. It just makes it really easy and pleasant to drive. All right, let's head out now to the private road to do the performance test and see how it goes. I've got the fuel light on, sorry, I didn't mean to. Still got 180 kilometers range left, but at least it'll give us a good idea of its absolute performance potential with less weight in the fuel tank. If you were really concerned about the performance, I think the 4x2 version would be a little bit quicker because you'd have less weight. You know, the front axles and the transfer case and all of that would add a decent amount of weight, which would impact the performance a little bit.